Data is rarely clean. It's almost always messy. It doesn't just hand you a clear answer. More often than not, the truth is buried under this mountain of random noise. So, how do we cut through all that chaos to find the real story? Well, that's exactly what this is all about, the really powerful idea of data smoothing.
And this, right here, is the core challenge. When you look at raw data, it just looks like a wild scribble, not a clear trend. So how in the world do we find this signal inside all of that noise? Let's figure it out together. Okay, to make this super concrete, we're going to use a classic example, tracking the popular vote margin in the 2008 US election. You've got new polls coming out every single day, and the numbers are just bouncing all over the place. Is public opinion really changing that fast, or is that just noise? Our mission is to find the real story hiding in this data.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the basic idea of finding a signal. Then, we'll build our first tool, a simple sliding window, but you'll see pretty quickly that it has some problems. That's going to lead us to a much smarter method, weighting nearby points. From there, we'll get to the real masterstroke, fitting local lines. And then, to wrap it all up, we'll see why all of this is so critical for the world of machine learning. All right, first up, let's talk about finding the signal and the really powerful idea behind a technique called smoothing. Smoothing is all based on one core idea. We just assume that the true trend we're after moves smoothly, like a gentle curve. The noise, on the other hand, is all wobbly and erratic. And if we make that one assumption, we can actually design methods to filter out all those wobbles and reveal the smooth trend underneath. So how do we actually do this? Well, our first attempt is a really simple and intuitive method called the sliding window. The logic for this, it's often called a bin smoother, is just beautifully simple. First, you define a window, let's say 7 days long. For any given day, you just average all the data points inside that window. Then you slide that window 1 day forward, do it again, and you just keep doing that across the entire data set. So what do we get? Well, we get a line that's definitely less chaotic than just the raw dots, but it's not exactly smooth, is it? It's got these little jumps and sharp turns. It's better for sure, but still pretty wiggly. So what's the problem with this simple approach? Well, think about it. Every time our sliding window moves one step, a data point at the back drops out, and a new one enters at the front. If those 2 points are really different, our average can jump all of a sudden, and that's what creates those wiggles. Okay, so that jumping average is our enemy here. To fix it, we need a more elegant solution, and that brings us to section 3, weighting what's nearby, using this clever tool called a kernel. Okay, this slide gets right to the heart of the problem. Our first method, that bin smoother, it treated every single poll in its window equally. But that doesn't really feel right, does it? The poll from yesterday should probably matter more than the one from a week ago. Well, kernel smoothing builds that common sense right into the math. I think the best analogy is a spotlight. Instead of a hard-edged box, we're shining a soft-edged spotlight on our data. The point that's right in the center is the brightest. It has the most influence. And as you move away from that center, the light fades, and the other points have less and less weight in our average. And as you can see, our spotlight can have all sorts of different shapes. The uniform one, that's really just the simple box we were using before. But we could also use a triangular shape, or a smooth bell curve like the Gaussian kernel, or even one called the Eponichnikov kernel, which is actually mathematically the most efficient. And the payoff is immediate. I mean, look at that. By applying this weighted average, those sharp jumps they disappear. The influence of points entering and leaving the window gets softened, and we get a trend line that is way smoother and much more believable. Okay, that's a lot better, but we can push this one step further. Section 4 introduces our most powerful technique yet, the master stroke of a method called LOES. So far, both of our methods, the bin smoother and the kernel smoother, they've kind of assumed that inside our little window, the true trend is basically flat. We're just trying to find the average level. But what if the trend is actually curving up or down, even inside that tiny window? This is where a really deep mathematical idea comes to the rescue, but it's explained with a beautiful analogy. Think about a gardener trying to create a perfect curve in a lawn using just a straight-edged spade. They make a series of tiny straight cuts that when you step back, form a perfect smooth curve. This illustrates a concept from Taylor's theorem. Any smooth curve, if you zoom in close enough, starts to look like a straight line. And that is exactly what LOES does. Inside each little window, instead of just calculating a weighted average, which is like fitting a flat horizontal line, Lois fits a weighted sloped line to the local data points. It takes our spotlight idea and combines it with regression, finding the best fit line for that little neighborhood of data.
And the result is, well, it's fantastic. By fitting a whole series of these tiny, localized lines, Lowest creates a final curve that is incredibly smooth and flexible. It just adapts to the data, capturing all the subtle dips and rises in the trend with a robustness our other methods just couldn't match. This is as close as we're going to get to that true hidden signal. So we've gone from a jagged mess to this beautiful, smooth curve. But why does any of this actually matter beyond just making pretty charts? Well, this is where we connect everything to the wider world of machine learning. And this right here is the whole point. Machine learning is fundamentally about finding patterns in data, right? And smoothing is one of the core tools for doing exactly that. Think about it. That simple bin smoother we started with, that's basically the idea behind a popular algorithm called k-nearest neighbors, or KNN. By cleaning up the noise, these techniques let models see the true relationship between variables, learn flexible patterns, and ultimately make way more accurate predictions. Which, of course, leaves us with one final fascinating question. We've seen how we can make our trend lines smoother and smoother. But how much smoothing is the right amount? And herein lies the real art and science of it all. It's a delicate balance. If you smooth too little, your line is still noisy and it overreacts to every little blip in the data. But if you smooth too much, you might actually erase the real trend itself, ending up with a line that's too flat and misses important changes. Finding that perfect sweet spot, that balance between signal and noise, isn't just a challenge in smoothing. It's one of the most fundamental challenges in all of machine learning and data science.